Into the Groove is a song by American singer-songwriter Madonna from the 1985 film Desperately Seeking Susan. The film was released in 1985, 16 years before the 9/11 attack. Did the video contain subtle clues of their intention to destroy the Twin Towers? I believe they did, and that Madonna is just another one of their pawns. The Illuminati love using symbols in their corporate logos, movies and music videos, coded, reversed or layered, sometimes very subtle or sometimes in full view. This I believe they do to empower themselves and their goals. Magic, M-A-G-I-C, is a white art of producing illusions as entertainment by the use of sleight of hand and by using tools such as smoke and mirrors. M-A-J-I-C-K is a black art and usually involves pulling off an impossible stunt that will leave others to believe that you have the favour of the gods. Let's look at clip number 1. This is the opening scene of the video. Notice the Illuminati pyramid on her jacket is reversed. This is important. It is a mirror image. If you look carefully, you'll also see that they've placed a red band around the pyramid. The red string associated with the Kabbalah cult can often be seen being worn on the wrists of celebrities and members of the cult in Hollywood. Now let's look at clip number 2.
And you can dance.
Notice the vampire looking dancer conducting as he dances. The room is filled with smoke, and in the background we see a window made up of glass cubes. It could be described as being a checkerboard pattern, only the black squares have been removed. I believe they're saying here this is for increased illumination, and at some point in the video the black must be replaced again. I have added some black squares to try and demonstrate what I mean. You'll notice that a red fringe has been placed around the checkerboard pattern on the floor of the Masonic Lodge. In this image you'll see a Masonic symbol. See the checkerboard floor, the all-seeing eye in the sky, and 2 pillars. These represent the 2 pillars of Solomon's temple and stood at its entrance. Now let's look at clip number 3. In this clip we see a man watching someone using the newspaper to hide his face. Let's take a closer look at the newspaper. It reads, "Giants, Jets, Click." It also has the word mirror. They have also sneaked in a very faint image of the Olympic rings at the top of the page. Now we all know the New York Giants and the New York Jets being referred to in the newspaper are American football teams. But the Twin Towers could also be described as New York Giants. And the jets that hit the Twin Towers took off from New York. Are they suggesting that at some point in the future they're going to click together? Now let's look at clip 4. What are they trying to tell us here? Madonna's character is surrounded by playing cards. The playing cards are being used for divination purposes. The Minor Arcana, or occult of the tarot, is a deck consisting of 56 cards divided into 4 suits, derived from the older Latin playing card suits, most commonly named wands, cups, swords and coins. These cards can be used for divination purposes by occultists. The deck is related to the deck of 52 playing cards used in most modern card games. Madonna has followed the Kabbalah religion since 1996, and I suspect a lot longer if the truth be known. Clip 5. Here we have a heart drawn around an advertisement that's been placed in a newspaper. saying desperately seeking Susan. In the small print it reads, "Keep the faith, Tuesday, 10 AM, Battery Park Gangway." 9/11 did indeed occur on a Tuesday morning, and that the first tower began to fall at 9:59 AM. I have included this picture of the financial district in New York. It would be a perfect viewing spot if one wanted to see the towers falling. Here you can see where Battery Park is and how close it is to the Twin Towers. It's also interesting to note that one of the lyrics in the song says, "I see the fire burning in your eyes." Clip 6. Why 1313 on the door? The first 13 represents the 13 frequencies or 13 tones of creation. The second 13 represents the 13th degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry and is called Knight of the Ninth Arch or Royal Arch of Solomon. Now I'm going to show you some stills that I've taken from the video. In this scene we see a man climbing up a ladder. This is symbolic of Jacob's ladder or the song Stairway to Heaven. They all refer to the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is a 7-rung ladder and is used in the Kabbalah. What I think they're referring to is our human DNA and their intention to try and change it by placing an electronic chip in our hands. Now the Illuminati know that all matter is made up from photons, electrons, neutrons and protons. These are all forms of electricity and can be altered by frequencies of light. So if we were to add a silicon photodetector to the electronic chip implant and then in turn scan this device using a laser beam, it may be possible to alter the frequencies of our DNA. Look to see the view from Battery Park. Here the actress can be seen standing in Battery Park holding the telescope. When? What year will it be? Here the actor holds his wrist and covering his watch. Note his arm is in a reversed L shape. So it's telling us we need to look to find the L, and when we find the L we will find the date. On the right hand side you see a clipping from the newspaper which says Luto. Note this begins with the letter L, followed by 2 zeros, a T and another 0. This represents 2001. Reflection and mirror. In this frame you can see that they've altered the reflection in the mirror. There's a woman standing in the front and the reflection is of a man. Black Magic Club. In this frame we see a photograph is held showing the words Magic Club. They are set on a black background. This is the colour black being replaced from the vampire dancer scene. Magician. Here we see a white art magician. He is using magic for entertainment purposes. So in true Illuminati style we have to reverse it. So what he's really doing is practicing the black art of magic. You'll notice that the magician is performing the magic trick of sawing a woman in half and then rejoining her back together again, just as they intend to do with our DNA. More use of reflection and mirrors. By using a mirror we can produce 2 lights out of 1. This is called an illusion. Skull and bones. Now I don't know about you, but I've never owned any luggage that contained images of skeletons and pictures of skulls. Mocking. If you look into the top left corner, you'll see a frame taken from the video. The two reporters have an uncanny resemblance to Gary Stearman and the late J.R. Church. Below we see 1313 Mockingbird Lane. This was the address of the Munsters. I believe that they are mocking Gary and J.R. because they used to produce a program called Prophecy in the News. More skull and bones. Now it has been suggested that a bomb may have been placed in a van and then parked in the underground car park of the Twin Towers. The van in this scene is covered with skulls. I've looked at pictures on the internet of where the towers fell, and where they cleared the rubble away there was an extremely large crater left. Blow up. In this scene, Madonna walks into a lady's bathroom. Note the dryer is set on the wall with the tiles in a brickwork formation, much in the same way as they do in building construction. She walks up to the dryer, turns the nozzle into the blow upwards direction. With her hands together, she almost looks like she's praying. Smoke. In this scene, Madonna seems to blow an excessive amount of smoke from out of her mouth. More use of reflections. Here in this frame we can see mirrored sunglasses being used to create a reflection. In the United States, if you need to call the police, you dial 911. Fall to pavement or sidewalk. Here we see a man fall to the pavement. While the towers were burning, we actually saw people jumping out of windows and falling to their deaths on the sidewalk. Now let's look at clip number 7, the paintings. Now turned 45 degrees to the right. In the left painting it looks like the nose of the plane is hitting the tower and we can see a small explosion. In the right hand painting we see that the plane has now gone completely into the building. Here I've actually placed an image of the actual plane hitting the tower with the painting picture placed next to it for comparison. I think the two images look very similar. So what have we actually got? I believe that this music video was actually an invitation. And I think it reads something like this. The Black Magic Club invite you to be at Battery Park Tuesday 10 AM 9/11 to view the New York Jets impact the New York Giants 2001. Of course, it could always be said that all of this is just coincidence, but I don't think so.